the amount of involvement that you have to have in all of these processes. You got to be the chauffeur. You got to be the homework teacher at home. You got to be the cook. You got to, like, all these things that have to happen as far as what falls on the parents. It's a huge responsibility.
What's up, y'all? It's Ashley.
I'm Fee.
It's Melody.
And Cody here. And you've tapped into
The Mama Stand.
Brooks, in particular, is already in like a lot of life activities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I really thought I had more time to get to this phase. I probably talked about this last year because he was in karate and soccer, and then they were swimming.
Oh, yeah.
And it was taking over like
Saturday mornings.
my like Friday through Monday. Because the other thing about karate is that I don't remember when it switched, but he was in it only on Saturdays, and now he's in it on Saturdays and Mondays. So he's in karate Saturdays and Mondays. I stopped the swimming. We're going to have to pick it back up because it's life or death. But I stopped the swimming because it was too much. And he does soccer on Friday nights, right? And it was, when we joined, it was like, oh, we have friends there and it'll be fun. And I want him to try things, right? So we get to a point a couple of months in where they're like, he can try out for a team. And I was like, no. Mostly because I know that that's a big commitment. And so I was like, I'm good. So he didn't try out for a team. A couple weeks later, they sent an email and they're like, hey, we've evaluated Brooks and he can be on a team. And immediately I'm like, so y'all just want to check because once he joins a team, we got to pay more. But I also know, of course, I want to honor whatever he's interested in.
Yeah.
But I know, again, that commitment of like, once he's on a team, there's games. My understanding is there's like games all weekend long in all kind of crazy parts of LA. I'm not ready for this, but it's like not about me. And so my dilemma over the last, it's only been about a week, right, since we got this email. And I've already actually added him to basketball. We'll talk about that in a second.
Oh my God.
But just trying to figure out what to do, how much to involve him in the decision, because I want, his opinion matters, but he's also, you know what I mean? He's 7. He needs to try things. I don't, what are we doing here?
But does he need to try everything at one time, sis?
No, but that's my thing is like, once we commit to soccer, he has to stop karate. And so it's the sacrifice part of it too. Is like, do we let him continue to get the life skills that both offer? Do we cancel one so he could do soccer if he thinks he wants to do soccer?
I would cancel. I would have canceled one.
He has said, I just like being with my friends. And so I'm also trying to figure out if that means your friends who are now on a team or your friends who are not on the team and you're still playing with them on Friday. So we're working through that.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I'm not the first and I'm not going to be the last. So come help me out, ladies.
I remember when I had Peace in gymnastics and she was doing theater, and I pulled her out of that gymnastics because her little butt, she just wanted to be cute. She wasn't even flipping or nothing. She just liked the outfit. And I called her dad. I said, hey, look here. I'm not doing this with this little girl. I'm like, absolutely not. So we took her out. But the commitment part.
How long was she in?
She was in for like 2 seasons.
What is that, 2 years or 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she ever miss it?
Did she ever miss it?
Or does she ask now, like, oh, I wish I was still in?
Now she does, yeah. And now I think she would kind of take it a little bit more seriously.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
and that's important.
sometimes I'll be like, hello, it's your turn. Like, flip, do something. Girl, every
Do you see
time,
this
just like
bodysuit?
looking, fixing her hair. Yeah. But now she's into theater still, which is only Friday. And then she's about to start playing softball. But we definitely do like one thing at a time because it's overwhelming.
So theater is a season.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is, none of this is through the school. So it's not like he's
That's
at
the part.
school and then it happens after school at school and then it's, 3 months out of the year. It's like we pick him up on Fridays and take him to soccer. It's every Friday.
Yeah.
Karate is every Saturday. And because of the belt he has to do sparring on another day, which is the only day he could do is Monday. I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When I was thinking about it, I played almost every sport, but everything was through my
At
school.
school, yeah.
Everything
through the
was
school's a game
I
changer.
would like stay after school. My parents would come pick me up at like 6 o'clock after practice. Like there was no taking me places. I knew my parents didn't have the capacity for that, but that was never even offered to me.
Yeah.
But our kids these days now, we're entrepreneurs.
Right.
We like, a la carte our lives, and the same. Like Cam, he wants to do, he's done baseball, he's done soccer, he's done basketball, and now he just started karate. And, we kind of had to choose the same thing. And it's like figuring out the schedule of practices for each sport, then games for each sport, and how you make yourself available to be present. Because like, if you have help, if you have a nanny or an auntie or a friend or like a friend's parent on the
Right.
team that could be like, can you take him in this day?
Yeah.
Your presence as a parent is still very
That
much
part.
needed.
Mhm.
Your kids want to look out on game days and see their parents
Yep.
too. They can
Yeah.
understand there's exceptions. But for the most part, and as Ashley, we've talked about this, like trying to be a good present parent is stressful as hell.
Girl.
It
Yeah.
is.
Because
It's
if
a
you
ga-
want to just be like
Yeah.
off and not caring, then life is great. You're
Yeah.
never gonna be stressed.
The
But when you're
hard-
trying to do the best job, it's so stressful.
The hard
Yep.
part is when they overlap
Yes.
both kids' schedule.
Exactly.
Woo, when we
We're
were
not
doing
even there
soccer,
yet.
we would have to do, their dad would have, so we would all be at the first game, which is pieces. And then we would switch off every other week, but we have to take the other kid over here and then meet them over there. And I told their dad, I was like, we can't do this no more.
No.
I was like, yeah, this is,
Yeah.
And
I
got
mean,
a-
we
and I
probably
got
won't
a-
have a choice at some point, but ooh,
I got a
it's so
2-year-old. I'm
stressful.
not trying to drag her to all these
Oh,
places.
God.
She don't know how to
No.
act.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah,
it's
that
like, no.
part.
Running in the game.
No.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
you're still separate because then it's one of you at home with the baby and then the
Exactly.
other person at the game and you have to take turns. I feel like number one, it's super important to ask the kids their opinion about what they
Mhm.
really want to do. I know with Amira, I had her in dance and then she articulated that she wanted to do karate. And so we put her in that. And she was like, peace. She wanted to do gymnastics, but she just want to wear a leotard. And she was like, I just want to know how to do back bend. I was like, girl, I'll teach you that in the living room.
Okay.
Not for $500
You
a
don't
month.
say these $500.
Gymnastics
She
is
said,
probably
"Girl,
one of the
I'll
most
teach you
expensive.
that in the living
Girl,
room."
gymnastics is more expensive than ballet.
Why?
And I don't know. And it'll be like $450 or something crazy, and they'll be like in practice 1 hour once a week. It's insane.
And them outfits are expensive too. I'm like, girl, you
Yes.
better throw on a bathing suit. That looks like.
Shut
And these
up.
tights from Target.
You know how many
Listen.
bathing suits I bought? I said, that's a leotard.
I compared the prices, and because we have our kids, and shout out to Miss Debbie Allen, her dance company, but they're in class for like 3 hours, and it's like twice a week. So it's like,
Oh,
okay,
wow.
They getting
And-
it.
Yeah,
They
and
got
they get
that.
each hour they're taking a different type of dance class. So I don't mind paying that
Wow.
money because it's technically they're getting like 10 classes in one.
Yeah.
That's very different than you being in gymnastics for 45 minutes and you still can't do no cartwheel.
That
Yeah.
part.
We're
No.
also big on
Not the cartwheel.
you're not giving up. If you ask,
That part.
it's like if you ask to be in soccer, you are going to finish out that whole entire season.
Yes.
You don't get to say, oh, I don't want to do it in the middle. I'm like, no, you got to see it all the way through.
Yes, yes, Ashley.
Okay, well, I used to be that way.
Well,
But-
you staying in.
I know, but think about this though. Think about as a grown human, how there are things that we think we want to do and we start experiencing them and we're like, this is not for me. And we're always advocating like honor yourself and walk away if it's not, so I think there's one thing, if you notice your child has a tendency to do things and quit, that's very different.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you have a child who's very clear on what they want, like I feel like Peace, if she says she don't want to do something, she knows she don't want to do it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? She's not like, I'll flip it. I feel like if you have a child who knows what they want and don't want to do, and they're like, hey, this is not for me, you should honor that. That's why that whole conversation of like, what do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? If it starts with my friends, then that's already an immediate, like, I'm gonna need a little bit.
That
Do you
part,
understand this
yes.
commitment? Do you know what that means for mommy or daddy or whatever, or who's gonna take you? Like, we can have those conversations with our children.
Yeah.
But equally, like, I feel like we have this desire, like, I want to put them in basketball, soccer. I want them to try all the things. They don't have to try everything every
Yeah,
year,
no.
all the time.
We always
You know what I mean?
ask. We always
Yeah.
ask, like, what do you guys want to do?
Mhm.
Like 100%. All right, you kind of caught me. Okay, so on the last
You
one,
caught me.
so
You got me.
on the last one, so she was in this soccer league, but the other teams, like it was like 2 or 3 games in a row, the other team wasn't showing up, so they had to play each other.
Oh.
So she got lucky, and we were like, yeah, we're not about to waste our time here.
Mhm.
But I was like, moving forward, ma'am.
Oh, so you quit.
Ma'am.
Okay.
I'm like, they weren't even having game. I'm like, and it's taking up my
But
Saturday.
see,
Stop
that
playing with
part,
me.
that
I'm
part.
like,
I
y'all
would
playing
also
with
like
me.
to acknowledge how difficult it is to balance all these things as well as like homework.
Girl.
Because
After school program.
yeah, listen. No, because really, like the amount of involvement that you have to have in all of these processes, you got to be the chauffeur, you got to be the homework teacher at home, you got to be the cook, you got to like all these things that have to happen as far as what falls on the parents. It's a huge responsibility. So I
Yeah.
think. Like for me, the thing that's been working for us is structure. It's like, okay, this is the schedule. These are the activities that you're currently in. Like I know for right now, Cam started karate is a game changer.
Mhm.
Cameron needs karate and he loves it. which is
That's
like really
good.
wonderful. He's loving it, but he needs it. And I feel like that activity is going to help him develop in every other area of his
Yeah.
life. And it's
How
already
long has he
shown.
been doing it?
He just started. It's been
Okay.
like his second week.
Okay.
Bomb.
But he loves it. We did all the free classes that they offered to us. It's unlimited classes for the month. So I'm going to always make sure that he's going to go there. I don't care if he has homework. But the way that we structure it is that every day you have to do your homework at the same time.
Mhm.
And something that we also talked about too with his teacher was allotting a specific amount of time to do the homework.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here with you for 2.5 hours doing homework because
Mm-mm.
you want to be unfocused and you're not happy
Right,
and you're
right.
bored and wasting time. I don't got time for that. We give him 1 hour. The homework doesn't take 1 hour, but you have 1 hour.
Yeah.
So you're going to sit here, you're going to do this homework. If you don't finish it, then it's tomorrow's problem as well. So, you
Mhm.
know, so that has changed the game. And then knowing that he has to go to these places, it's like, it really becomes about routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is a different life for us. Both Jared and I are entrepreneurs, obviously, and we work at our pace or how the demands of our work comes up. And so having kids with set schedules changes the
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
game,
it
Yeah.
which
does.
is why we need help.
Yeah, and that
yeah.
you know what too? You forgot to add play dates. That
Oh,
play dates in
girl.
there. So listen, you guys,
If it's not y'all, we ain't no play.
I took no for real, for real though. I took him out.
Yeah.
I took him out. I was like, I can't do this. I told
No.
the kids, I was like, look, you guys have we have friends and family outside of school.
Yeah.
I was like, but your little friends at school. I was like,
Little friends.
I'm not doing it. You want to go to Ashley's house? Okay, I'll drop you off there.
Yes.
I'm like, but I'm not doing all this. Like, I
It's
can't
a
do it.
lot.
It's too,
It's
I
too
was like,
much.
I literally can't. And I called their dad. I was like, look, I need you to agree with me on this one.
Right.
And he's like, absolutely.
He
He's
don't
like,
wanna do
Fee,
it either.
he like, Fee, I've been not doing it. Like, what? But
And I would just like to
ugh.
say for all the parents listening, new parents, aspiring parents, maybe they don't know if they want to be parents. I'm going to let you know right now, in my opinion, when you think that newborn baby stage is the hardest, child, this is the hard. Yes, you're tired, but this level of parenting right now at this age is, I feel, the hardest. Because I'm having to truly manage my life, other people's lives, their schedules, what they need to do. Like, and then I have children that are two completely different ages. So I have to be two completely different parents. So I feel like this is the hardest phase because now they have lives. It's not just
Girl.
like roll with me wherever I'm going.
Man,
This is the hardest.
I knew
This is-
Ashley
y'all
was gonna
cracking
say
me up.
something.
I know, because you got
This
to
is
see that.
so hard.
I said, this is
Okay.
the hardest phase. We don't have teenagers yet. You can chime in on your teenage experience.
No, I mean it's the same for her. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. It is the scheduling because I can't remember which one of you said crossing over. I think it was you, Felicia.
Yeah.
But literally, that is my life now. Amira's in theater, so she has theater, and there's a play coming up. So there's rehearsal every single day. I remember. Shout out to Sapia. That's Chia's cousin, and we had our wedding at her house. But her 3 children, Apsara, Sakchia, and little Peter, they all did soccer, and I remember like them never being together on the weekends because she would be like, oh, I got to take Peter. And then my husband's taking the girls. And then every weekend they were like that, like always somewhere different. Or if there was a family event, it would be like one parent there with one kid. And be like, oh, the other 2 had a soccer competition. And I was like, how? And she used to always tell me that, like, don't put him in soccer. Don't put him in soccer. Because she was
Man.
like,
Soccer and baseball?
yes, the
Worse.
schedule
Crazy.
is insanity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your weekends are totally out.
Yep.
And don't let your kid be good. Because
Travel
then
teams,
they're going to
all-star.
be emailing you like, you want to join this team? You want to join this team? And then if you
Girl.
see your kid, you want them to do it because you're like,
Yeah,
dang, this could be
exactly.
this might be their gift. But when you have multiple children, oh, that's out. Like you can't. You have to have a boundary.
But is it because I'm hearing you're like it's out, but at the same time, you want the child who loves that sport to thrive. And if the
Yeah.
other 2, or I say 2 because I have 3, but if the other person is doing something else, like you,
this is
you
why it
figure
takes
it
2
out.
people to
You know
make
what
children.
I mean?
Yeah.
It
because
is, but okay. So
you
here's
need
my
help.
other dilemma, and we don't have to like dig into it because he's not here to defend himself. But not that he needs to. But Tommy is very much like, I want to hang out with them on the weekends. I
Yep.
don't want to have places to go.
that's how their father is too. Same
So
thing.
yeah, so even with karate, which we committed to like 2 years ago, whenever that started, or a little year and a half. Now 11 o'clock comes and karate's at noon, and I'm like, bruh, we have to leave in 30 minutes, and he's like, ugh, does he have to go? I'm like, bruh,
This is funny.
This is
well,
what
you
we're
know
doing.
what?
Yep.
You don't have to argue that too much longer because your children become an age where they look at you and they daddy and they're like, I want to go to
Yeah.
soccer.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like
Okay.
Amira is first of all, I don't see my child no more because she got too many plans. Every
There it
weekend
is.
she had a birthday party. Like we have entered the
dance.
I love this for her.
age of like, I want to be with my friends, not y'all on the weekend.
Yeah.
So we have to really be like, all right, Friday is family time. Like, we're going to do a little family time and then you can go be with your little friends. But I have to like keep the family unit close. Like, I'm not going to let you just be dipping out all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
But equally, like, Saturdays are washed. Like, the girls have 3-hour dance class. So then it's either like Chia will take them and the baby, or I take them and then he has the baby. Then Amira has acting class, and then it's like, I look up and I'm like, dang, we ain't spend no time together.
Right.
Like, to
Girl.
Tommy's point, I get it. But my kids be like, are we going to dance yet? Is it time for dance yet? Like, they want to go to their activities.
Yeah.
They don't want to just kick it at home.
Brooks wants to go too. It just doesn't help when his daddy is like, ugh.
But you know what? This is when all those parents were like, enjoy it when they're small.
Yeah.
Enjoy it when they're small. We're like, child, somebody take these kids when they're small because I'm tired. But
Man.
it really does. Like, nobody prepares you for the lifestyle change that happens. It's
Yeah.
not just like, oh, you're getting bigger. It's a lifestyle change that happens.
Yeah.
And everyone has to fall in line. And so it's like, you know, if again,
Do they?
well, I mean, yeah, kind of. If you could, because I think again, the commitment of what it is, and just like Ashley said, your children will start to tell you what they want to do and what they don't want to do.
Girl.
You know, and so I don't know. It's a lot. Like, I think about it too. When we lived in the city and I ran track. I was really good. Then we moved to the suburbs. When we moved to the suburbs, I got offered like a program to go back to the university, which was near my school, to run track. And my mom and dad were literally like, who's going to drive you back to the city every day? And I didn't go.
A dream deferred.
A dream deferred.
Deferred.
That's exactly
not
it.
too late.
But, you know, but you know, but I used to think about that. I really did used to think about that. Like, I was like, damn, I could have been at York. Like, what, you know, like
Could have been in the Olympics.
Yeah, it's okay. I got Grammys. You know, we went on another path. It's fine.
I got another medal.
You can have both.
But you could have both.
Oh, here we go.
An Olympic, Grammy, track star, singer,
That would be crazy.
songwriter. I'm sure somebody's done it.
She can do it.
Somebody gotta do it.
Okay, let's train. Marathon,
Let's go.
Olympics, let's go.
Nah, girl,
We're just
not
running.
the way these two. Anyways,
Hilarious.
but I really do. I think about that. But I think it just comes to selection, and we think about our kids. We want to do everything for them at the right time. We want them to have the fullest lived experience, you know. But there's just limitations,
Yeah.
like real limitations.
I know.
And then you, Cody and Tommy, have very demanding lives and schedules for what you guys do for work already, as it is.
Word.
I don't know
You
how
know?
y'all do it.
So the
child.
pressure of being there, and that's why multiple kids, like whenever I'm like, how do people do like split the time? There's just not enough time.
No,
So you just got to do your best.
I feel bad because it's like a part of me understands Tommy to an extent where it's like he is he's very definitive with his boundaries, where he's like, I
Word.
work.
Yeah.
And so when I'm home,
Yes.
I'm relaxing.
Yeah.
Who? This is Tommy or
Yeah,
Tia?
Tommy,
Sure.
the end.
Yeah.
Like, that's how he is. And I respect that in a sense, but then also it sucks because it's like, it just doesn't work that way when you have children,
Yeah.
because your children are going to unhinge all of that.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to be the one parent that's at home and your kids are like, Dad, you don't come to our soccer meetings, or Dad, you don't
Right.
And it's not that he wants to be home alone.
No, he wants to be with y'all.
home with them.
He
Yeah,
wants
but they're not
he
gonna
wants
want that.
quality
Exactly.
time. It's that
Yeah.
quality
That's his love
time.
language,
Yes.
Love languages.
Pisces.
You know, that's interesting. I wonder, we should ask our kids what their love languages
Oh,
are.
I had Amir take a test.
Aw.
There's a test
I
they
would
could
love
take.
to know.
Really?
If I listed it
You should give
out
it to Peace.
for my kids, what love languages, like, well, for Cam, Kai would just be like, Elmo.
Be quiet.
Be quiet. Elmo's on. But what love languages would be? I would say Cam's is gifts, 100%.
Really?
Oh, he loves a gift, child.
Hilarious.
Gifts, and I think quality time.
Yeah.
He loves to
Yeah.
be with us. He would sleep in the bed right now every day if we let him.
I think most kids, when asked, would probably say gifts.
Gifts and then quality time.
Yeah,
In,
yeah.
in that order.
In that
In
order.
that-
I feel like Zen is
Give me a gift and hang out with me.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like Zen is words of affirmation.
Oh.
Like when I
Yeah.
tell him like, "Oh my gosh, you look cool" or whatever, he's just like
He
he
lights
just
up.
lights up. And peace is definitely gifts and quality time for sure.
So
Yeah.
with Zen, it's funny. Just so is he extra sensitive to being criticized then? Because okay.
And he doesn't like when I tell him what to do.
Mm.
Like he takes it as like he's in trouble or he did something wrong. Like he takes it so personally, which is why we have to have a morning checklist. Because me telling him, okay, time to go brush your teeth, time to put your shoes on, he didn't like that.
Yeah.
He had to be in control and do it. It was like a whole, we had to like beat him at his own game.
Yeah. Words matter.
My
I'm
son.
seeing my son turn a corner now because like Cam is very sweet and he doesn't really talk back. He's not rude, but I can see we play around. So like I'll clown him a little bit and he would just be like, Mom, but now he's trying to clown me back. The other day we were getting ready to go to the dentist and he came out the car and he had food from his sandwich on his mouth and then he had like a booger in his nose and I was like, Chuck, you look crazy. I'm like, come here, you can't go lay in the dentist chair with your nose up in the air looking like that. So I started cleaning it up. He's like, well, you look crazy in the mornings.
And I
I said, and he laughed and I laughed and I was like, did you just clown me?
oh, isn't that so fun?
It is fun. It is fun.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, oh, we're turning a corner. So
Yeah.
like, even with that like bravado, like that feeling in sports and like, social life about like what he wants to
Yeah.
do and stuff like that. It's important to kind of like listen to them say what they want.
Turning the corner. No, I'm just thinking like turning the
Yeah.
corner. I feel like that's with Peace. I was telling their father the other day, I was like, we have a 9-year-old, bro.
Ugh.
And I was like, isn't it so crazy? And he's like, I think about it all the time.
Aw.
I'm like, how are you 9? Like, what is
But it's fun,
what's
right?
happening?
9
Yeah,
was
it's great.
Ooh, 9 was
It's great.
one of my favorite ages.
she's tapping into her attitude. She has attitude. I have to constantly correct her, and it's like the way that you're saying things.
Yeah.
And sometimes she's like, I didn't even do anything, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not what you said, it's how you said it.
Yeah.
And I'm your parent, and that, but even if they talk out the side of their neck to me or their father, we're both very much like, you need to speak to them properly. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Yeah, that turning a corner.
turning
But Zen
of a
too.
corner.
Zen, I feel like he was more like, he was turned up for a while, but now he's like such a big boy. And it's always like, Mom, I'm 5. I got it. I got it,
love
Mom.
this.
That is
Zen is
hilarious.
That's
funny,
his
man.
thing. I'm like, what's happening?
I asked Chia, I said, how was Zen when he was at the house? He was like, chilling. It was like,
He
her-
was zen.
He said, her kids are so well behaved.
Yeah,
He
them
was like, I
things.
forgot they were here for a minute.
Yeah,
I love that though.
my kids
Aw.
be.
Yeah.
They be
There's some
chilling.
good kids for sure.
What she said? She said, because behind closed doors, we be setting the standard.
What I
But
be.
listen, that's all that matters. It's how they act in public,
Just
really.
when I tell you, growing up, my mom, all my friends' parents used to be like, I'm sending you home with Melanie.
Yeah.
Donna needs to teach you something because the way
Yeah.
you act, like, we were the example. My mom was like, don't you play. And even the other day, Cam went over to his friend's house. One of the moms from his school called and she's like, could Cam come over after school? And they play baseball together, so I trust them. And I was like, yeah, sure. And so he went home, we went to their house. And when I came, I was like, was everything okay? She was like, Cam he's so respectful.
It's an angel.
He's an age. She was just like, he's just so respectful. He called me by my first, like Mrs. last name. Like she,
Oh, wow.
he
Yeah,
asked,
wow.
he's like, do you think, are you guys going to have pizza today? Like, cause he loves pizza. Yeah, he's going to try to get what he wants to.
That's why I get what I want.
Yeah,
Don't you
just-
think we
we
should
should have pizza.
Yeah.
Just so sweet. I'm just like, so when he got back in the car and I said to him, I said, Cam, I said, so-and-so's mom said that you were really good and she really enjoyed having you with us. I was like, Cam, and I remember what it was. Their son wanted to watch like this like tutorial on how to play a game on YouTube, right? And he went to put it on and Cameron went to his mom and said, I think I have to ask my mom first if I can watch that. I don't know if I'm allowed to do. And when she told me
love
that,
those kids.
he got in the car and I said, Cameron, I said, I just want you to know that I'm so proud of you. And
Yeah.
I was like, and I really appreciate the fact that you respected our conversations, the way we do
Aw.
things in our house and someone else's house, and you asked permission and you
Yep.
were honest.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is really, really great.
Don't
and
you feel like,
Yeah, I was
that's
like,
right, baby.
right, we did
That's right, baby.
Did that.
I know that's right.
Did I tell y'all the vegan pepperoni story with my kids?
No.
So Nalo called me. This was the time we were in Ohio. It was really recent. And like she had my kids. And so she called me and she was like, I have to be very clear, I realized too, to make sure that I'm prefacing like vegan this, vegan that with my kids, because sometimes I'm like, oh, you want these pepperonis? But I know they're vegan. But I don't
Yeah.
always say vegan
Right.
pepperoni.
Yeah.
So now I'm like always adamant that I say that. So they were at her house and they had pizza. And Asia loves these vegan pepperonis by this one brand. And so Nalo's husband Chad, he was like putting them on the pizza, and he was like, "Wait, you can't have these." She was like, "I can have pepperoni," and Nalo was like, "No, they're not vegan." And Asia was like, "Oh my gosh, like." What are they made of? It's just like animals. It's just like, oh no, I can't have those. I can only have vegan pepperonis. So Azara goes, I could have whatever I want to have, but I'm not going to eat them because we don't eat them at home. But I just want you to know that, but if I wanted them,
Yeah.
I could have them, but I'm not going to eat them.
A Virgo.
She is funny.
Virgo.
But this is the thing. She's so honest. So I called her and I was like, Azara, why would you say you could have whatever I wanted? She was like, because I can. You're not even here. If I wanted to eat them, I could. But I'm not eating them because I know we don't eat that. But I could if I wanted to.
Girl, sound like your child.
I was like,
that sounds like your child.
Well,
but the thing
Just
is,
calling, just checking.
she's
Thanks.
so logical. But the thing, I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right, Azara,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that because you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're aware that whatever you do has a repercussion.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, but when I'm grown, I am going to do whatever I want. I was like, thank you, because
Yeah.
she reminds me of
and
that
make the
every
choices.
day.
Nothing
Like,
like it.
I talked to this with Cam about like foods in general because
Yeah.
like he's gonna be out in the world. You know,
Mhm.
we've eaten a certain way in our house, and I just tell him I was like, Cam, like we literally went through all the restaurants. I was like, this is where you start. You
Yeah.
end up at this restaurant and you want it, you have to eat something.
Oh,
This is where you
smart.
like. I literally went through and I told him like the why we don't eat certain foods and
Mhm.
why we don't eat at certain places and things like that because of health reasons and whatever.
Yeah.
So you know, I try to equip them because they're gonna go out into the world.
Yeah.
Have to make these decisions. They're gonna go
Yeah.
to pizza parties and after sport events and parties and friends' houses, like you know, and you just want your kids to be able to make the best decisions for themselves
100%.
in moderation, right?
We went to, well, the kids were at their father's house, and it was like he was like throwing a house party. And so there was a group of kids that were upstairs and they were doing something they weren't supposed to be doing. And my kids and I think Blair's son, like they ran downstairs and they went to tell their dad. And so their dad called, they were like, hey, I just want to let you know this is what happened. But he was like, peace and zen. We're like, I'm not getting in trouble. I'm like, they already knew what was up. I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's right.
yeah, no.
Do you feel like your kids, because the three of them, like, do any of them kind of be like, nah, I'm not doing that? Or do they kind of all get down and dirty together or not?
Together, yes,
Yeah.
down and dirty. But Brooks would be the one to certainly
Yeah.
be like, we're not supposed to be doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe the other two, but they would do it. And then they would come tell me.
They'll ask for forgiveness, not for permission.
Like,
Right. One
Aristotle
of them.
was doing da-da-da-da-da. And he'll be like, you did it too.
Right, you were doing it with me.
Yeah,
Mom, we
for
was spray
sure.
painting in school. Just letting you know.
It was a mural of you, though. It was a mural of your face.
And it would be if it's Langston.
Oh, that's sweet. I love that.
Oh, man. All right. So the question of the week. And remember, if you have a question, just hit us up at podcasts
With an S.
at blacklove.com or follow us and ask us a question at the Mama's Den Podcast on Instagram. We will answer you. All right. So I guess I will take this one because I talked about it in another episode. Melissa writes, love listening to your episodes. You mentioned a book, Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. There are several books with this title. Which one would you suggest to start with? Oh, because there's a series.
Yeah.
The first one.
The first one.
Period.
Yeah.
Read.
That's all I got to say about that. The end. Good night.
Yeah.
No, the first one is amazing. I think I started the second one and it didn't have the same vibes for
Yep.
me. But the first one got all my writings all up and through it. I got sticky notes.
Can you give context for what the book is about? For
Yeah,
listeners
Conversations
who
with God by Neil Donald Walsh. He literally was just having a hard time in life, and there was just a period at which he felt like God was talking to him. And he started writing down what he was hearing and understanding. And the book just really opened me up to the importance of a relationship with God and
Yeah.
not necessarily like you only hear or see God when you're at church listening to a sermon. And I just agreed with so much of the principles and what I understood to be what he was hearing. Like I identified with it. It made sense to me.
Mhm.
And just opened my mind and my heart to a different type of experience and relationship with God.
I love that.
I love it.
Didn't both of you read it as
Yeah,
well?
I love
didn't
that
read
book.
it.
That book is really, really good. I feel the same way. It's literally him having a conversation with God. But I felt very, a lot of the answers that he was writing and that he was receiving, I was like, oh, I feel like that
Yep.
too.
Yep.
You feel very seen. But that book is amazing. And I agree. The first one is the one that has like the vibe for
Yeah.
sure.
I got all three. After you, Felicia, Melanie, not Melanie, Cody. Sorry, it's so many people here. I don't even remember my kids' names. Oh,
She's
okay.
like, who are you guys?
Cody and Felicia. I did get it after the two of you talked about it before, and I got it. And me and Amira have been reading it together. It has been really good. Yeah.
I think I read it like in one day. It was one of those vibes. I was like, oh, I gotta know more, you know?
Yeah.
Poor kids.
Yeah.
I'm not reading
To
anything
Amazon
in
we
one
go.
day.
Yeah, I think this is when I only had one kid.
Love that for you.
Girl,
It's
I
not
was in
happening.
college, so that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for the question, Melissa.
Wait, did you answer her question?
Yeah,
She
we did. She asked a
Mhm.
very straightforward question.
Oh.
Which one to get?
Oh.
Okay, I'll take that check, Neil Donald Walsh. All right, well, this has been fun. I definitely look forward to my chaotic life with these kids and their extracurricular activities.
Good luck, Fred.
You know, it is what it is. It's all for them.
Wait,
Yeah.
Cody, are the twins in activities?
Not yet, girl.
Oh my God.
We just applied to kindergarten, so we'll find out soon where they're going to end up, and I have to decide. Assuming they get into our top 2 choices, one of them is where Brooks is, and the other one is not.
Okay.
And
For your sake, I hope it's where Brooks is.
I have to. If we get into both, I have to like make that decision. Like, okay,
gonna separate
are we
them?
going to do the one drop off life?
Yes, well, I love one drop off life for
Yeah,
you.
not separating Aristotle and Langston.
Oh, okay.
But the potential for Aristotle and Langston to go somewhere other than
Oh,
where
okay.
Brooks is. It's like I really like the school, but that one drop off life I hear is, a game changer.
Fee, do your kids go to the same school?
Yep.
Yep.
So, but the good thing is that the preschool that Zen was at is literally directly across the street. So all the kids go over
Oh,
and they know
nice.
all
Like a
their
feeder
friends.
school,
yeah.
yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, so
My
good
kids go to the
vibes.
same school too.
Casa de Chia.
Well, somebody's gonna Google it.
But I'm working on
Casa de Chia.
I'm working on Kaya never going to a school, so
Sit
we'll
in
see.
my house.
I'm trying, girl.
Yay.
Yay, Miss Ashley.
Miss Ashley.
Miss Ashley. Miss Chia. Doesn't that sound weird? I feel like Chia is Chia and I'm Ashley. I'm just Miss Ashley.
I thought about
I-
that earlier when you were saying Cam called one of his friends' mom Mrs. something.
Yeah.
I was like, Mrs. Chia. That's weird.
Doesn't that sound weird?
No.
Yeah.
Cam literally said to me one day, I was like, he was calling her Miss Ashley. He says, Mom, do you think, and Nick, he goes, never mind. I was like, what are you going to say? He's like, do you think like if there's someone's like not your family, you could call them like your family, like auntie? And I was like, what are you talking about, buddy? He's like, do you think it'd be okay if I called Miss Ashley Auntie Ashley? And I was like,
Aw.
melt. I called Ashley. I'm like, ask her. She was like, yes, baby, you can. It was like a proposal. She was so happy.
No, listen, the way whenever I see him goes, hi, Auntie Ashley. And
Yeah.
Kaya does it too.
I
And I
know.
just, oh my God. It
Oh
just
my
melts
God,
my
like
heart.
melts.
All the babies should call me Auntie Ashley.
That's
I love
it.
it. I
Auntie
live for
Ashley.
it.
It's nice. It's a term
It
of
is. It
endearment.
makes me feel
It
very
is.
and it
loved.
makes you know that your children feel safe with you.
100%.
Yes, I love when like our kids and we build that relationship with them. It's weird because I don't want to just like off bat have my kids call you Auntie
Yeah.
Cody.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I don't want them calling y'all Miss Cody. That's so weird. I'm like, no, that's Auntie Cody. That's Auntie Melanie. That's Auntie Felicia. Like that's not Miss like that. I don't know. I'm like, I love y'all.
I'm
too
Miss-
much to be Miss.
I'm Miss
I'm Auntie
Melody
Fee.
with the
Melody, yeah.
I'm Miss Melody
Oh,
with
that's
the
what my
wig.
kids call her, Miss Melody.
Remember
What
when
it
I
is.
was pregnant?
yeah.
I was pregnant with blonde hair, and they came to me. Asia and Azara were in the corner, and she was like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "Miss Melody, is that a wig?"
Shut up.
Well, time to go back to brunette.
Oh my gosh.
They thought her hair was a whole wig.
We were both pregnant at the same
Yes.
time. Thought I had a wig because it was short and layered and it was
Yeah.
blonde.
Yeah, they were
they're
very
funny.
perplexed by it. And the other day it was so cute. They were attaching all of you to your children. They were like, now, Peace's mom is Felicia and Brooks's mom is Cody. And I was like, yeah, you got it. They're like, okay, yeah, we just gotta make sure we know all your friends and the mom. I was like, yeah, you got it. They was like,
They're
okay,
so
cool.
cute.
They're like, can we see them all again? I'm like, sure, because we want to be with 11 children. Absolutely.
Well, first of all, yes.
We
Okay,
just
fine.
were.
But
Felicia
wait,
and Sam's
lastly,
birthday.
I'll just say Brooks is taken to calling them Asia and Azara, the little one and the big
I
one.
forgot.
That's it. The little one and the big
Accurate.
one, and Asia and Azara.
Accurate.
Those are Ashley's kids. And
I'll
that
take it.
tickles me every time.
It does. Because I'm like, child, you are the same age as my child. Wait, okay, so we're done.
We're done.
Yeah.
Have a great week, ladies and village of the Mama's Den.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fill your tank up with gas and take them kids to extracurricular activities.